Pursuant to notice, I now call up H.R. 1327, the Syria Terrorism Threat Assessment Act. The bill was circulated in advance and printed copies are available. The clerk shall designate the bill.
H.R. 1327, offered by Mr. Luttrell, to direct the Secretary of Homeland Security to conduct a threat assessment of terrorist threats to the United States posed by individuals in Syria with an affiliation with a foreign terrorist organization or a specially designated global terrorist organization, and for other purposes.
Without objection, the first reading of the bill is dispensed with, and it's considered read and open to amendment at any point. The gentleman from Texas, Mr. Luttrell, is recognized for 5 minutes on his measure.
Thank you, Chairman Green and Member Thompson, for bringing this bill to the committee today. The last few months have shed light on the political uncertainty Syria is currently faced with. The region remains volatile and has become a breeding ground for violent and extremist groups. The instability has allowed terrorist organizations to establish footholds, exacerbating national security challenges. These malign groups are using every tool at their disposal and sending the bad actors our way. We simply cannot sit back and wait for another attack on the homeland. The Syria Terrorism Threat Assessment Act ensures the Department of Homeland Security conducts an assessment of terrorist threats to the United States posed by individuals in Syria with an affiliation to a foreign terrorist organization or a specially designated global terrorist organization. By doing so, we can better examine and mitigate emerging threats from this region. This assessment is focused on identifying terrorist threats and does not constitute a ban on innocent individuals from Syria. Foreign jihadist networks and other extremist groups are actively exploiting online platforms and other means to remotely radicalize and mobilize individuals to help plan and carry out terrorist attacks abroad. Our mission is clear. We must protect American lives and prevent future attacks on our homeland by strengthening our counterterrorism efforts. Thank you again to Chairman and Ranking Member for bringing this bill up. And I want to thank Congressman Correa for co-sponsoring this with me. And Mr. Carter, welcome back to the committee, sir. It's good to have you. With that, sir, I yield back.
Are there any amendments to the bill? Hearing none, the question, does anyone else wish to speak on the bill?
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. McKenzie, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to thank both the sponsor and co-sponsor of this important legislation. We have seen a very concerning situation developing in Syria where terrorist entities and terrorist sympathizers are taking charge of not only governmental operations, but also key functions of life in Syria. We see humanitarian atrocities occurring, and it's very concerning, not only the on-the-ground situation, but also what those impacts and ramifications could be for American security if those things continue and spill outside of the borders of Syria. And so I think this legislation is very important to address and recognize the situation in Syria, the potential vulnerabilities that could be caused by that instability for America going forward. And so again, would like to thank both the sponsor and co-sponsor for this important legislation and would encourage a yes vote. I yield back. Thank you.
Gentleman yields. I now recognize Mr. Correa.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I also want to thank the author of this legislation, Mr. Luttrell, working with me as co-author of this legislation. And let's be clear, today we're looking at a very historic moment. For the first time in 50 years, Syria is not under the Assad family rule. December 2024 marks just not the end of a regime, but it's the opening of a door for people looking for democracy, peace, dignity, self-determination. That's the Syrian people. But as my colleagues have said, the threats are there. What we now face are attempts by that little that's left by the Assad regime, Iranian-backed Hezbollah, ISIS, to exploit the vacuum, to regain power. But let's be clear. This legislation, the intent, the focus here is on the real threats, ISIS, IRGC, Hezbollah, and what's left of the Assad regime. We need to continue to send the message to the Syrian people that we stand with them, stand with their efforts as they seek democracy, self-determination, and they seek to get closer to the Western countries, seek to get closer to America. We can't protect our nation while we help the Syrian people rebuild their country. We can reject terror while accepting hope. I hope my colleagues can join me in stating our support for the Syrian people, and at the same time saying we're going to work to make sure America remains safe from any terrorist threats that may come from Syria. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield.
Gentleman yields. Does anyone else wish to speak on the bill? Are there any amendments on the bill? Hearing none, the question is on reporting the bill. H.R. 1327 of the House with a favorable recommendation. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.